Okay, so here's my surfboard. I modeled it after the measurements of one of my shortboards there. I want to pop out kind of with my foot right in the middle of the tailpad, front foot on the beginning of that, on the front. That's like the middle of the board exactly, which is kind of where you want to be. And I've been using wave key to practice the technique of the pop up. And so check this out. On the floor, it ends up looking pretty good, right? So kind of want to end up in like this position, right? On takeoff. Um, kind of like that, right? And then, so when I do it, okay, there you go. And you'll see that my feet are pretty close, and it seems like every time I've been able to get that. A couple things, key things to note here too, are that when I'm doing this on the floor, because of the wave key practice, right? My back knee stays low. I'm up on the balls of my feet, right? Up on the ball of my feet, kind of ready to go, like that. And then as the board falls away, it's easy to stand up, right? Do it one from the side here so you can see what I mean. There you go. And again, right spots, right? This is a clip of me surfing yesterday. Kind of like shoulder to head high, fat waves, but with nice open faces. And I haven't recorded myself in a while, and I just focused on having fun surfing. But the one thing I was thinking is when I was taking off, there was one word, it was knees. My mantra is like knees together kind of thing. So I'll show you a couple waves. They're ordered in best to worst. So we'll start here. I'll show you the approach for this one first. Okay, so here we go. We're going. Cool. So that was the best one that I had. And one of the best ones that I had. So you can see that that's a good start, right? Hands staggered, maybe a little bit too much. Looking up the line, not in a rush. But then when I pop, look at my knees apart. And then look off the back leg. I kind of try to stand up off it. But that's actually not terrible. Like having the back, that's not a terrible stance to stand up in. Like back knee low, it's down here. Front knee up here, all the weight on that front foot. And then I can start to stand up as the board kind of drops away. And that's pretty good, right? Aside from my flaily arms. Okay, cool. So we'll go on to the next one. This next one was also okay. So I'm a little out on the shoulder, so I got to paddle a little bit more, but did the right thing, put my chest down. You can see I'm rushing the pop a little bit, but still not bad. Arched and staggered and looking up the line. But then when I go to pop, my knees are apart. My back knee sticks out. I'm trying to push off of it to get my front leg through, which is a problem because by doing that, I'm straightening this leg out and locking my hips off, and that's hard to get that front leg through. And then also, because my hips are up now, I'm in a weird deadlift position, right? And so I drop my butt a little bit, and that's okay. But still, let's look at this one. Okay, again, not bad. Just was looking up the line, now looking kind of down because it's a fat wave. Look at that, knees apart. This one's sticking out. I'm already standing up off of it, and I haven't even brought my knees through yet. So that's part one of the problem, standing up on that back foot too early. But also just bringing these knees apart, which then on this one I ended up lowering my knee back down, which actually ended up keeping me in a decent stance. Like that's actually not bad. That's pretty close to where I want to be. But because I started out with my knees apart and kind of off balance, my ass ended up kind of over the back of my board instead of my weight being on the front of my balls of my feet and my chest over the front. I kind of stuck my ass out and my head was over here, and then I fall off. They're getting worse, so that's good. Looking up the line, staggered. But then yeah, look at how I'm bringing my knees through. You know, so apart, and then yeah, kind of standing up off my back knee before it's time, and then that locks the hips up, and then I end up in this weird downward dog position. Although that one wasn't terrible, but this not terrible there. but knees quite a ways apart. Trying to stand up off the side of my foot. You can see that that sends my hips up. Now I'm locked out in this weird downward dog frog thing. And because my right knee's out, I'm going to pop up side on. And then I'm going to be in this weird deadlift position and try to recover, which now I'm pitched forward, and now I can't recover. This is on a mid-length on a 6'8" too, so not the most unstable board. So you can see again, that one actually wasn't terrible, but you can see my knees already pointed out. It should be pointed forwards, right? Yeah, so this is a chip in, but same kind of thing. Can't really see much on that one, but yeah, there's that deadlift again. So already standing up on that back leg. The question is, why is this happening where I am pulling my knees apart when I can do it on the floor? My knees basically come through together, and then the back knee ends up right behind my backhand, and I end up on the balls of my foot. So what's the difference? Like at this point here, why is it that when I'm on a wave, are my knees coming apart? And I think the answer is partly core strength, because what's the difference between the floor and the surfboard? Well, surfboard's a lot less stable, you know. It's like bumping around a bit, and you can see it wobbling there, right? Blah, 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 blah. And then also, I think it's just a habit of like trying to get up on that back foot a little bit too soon, and you see it there, right? Oops, where it's like, yeah, the back foot's supposed to touch first, but like I'm trying to stand up off of it, which then gets my hip stuck up high and that knee pointed outside. So yeah, what are your thoughts? Why is this why could this be happening? I really think I'm starting to think it's core strength because I don't do any training. I just do yoga and like surf and walk for the most part, a bit of jujitsu, and like, yeah, this is the problem. I keep getting sweet waves. I'm taking off the peak. Once I get my balance, I know what to do on a wave, but I'm always missing this first section. But in general, why is that happening? Why is it that I can do it on the floor where it's supposed to be harder? This is the only video example of me actually doing it properly. I just thought I'd show you so that you can see what it looks like when I do it well. Mind you, this is backhand, so it's a little backhand, so it's a little bit different, but I'll show you real speed. Yeah. Okay, so I can do it, right? So we're mermaiding, we're chilling, we're looking up the line, kind of down the trough a little bit. Kind of end up going right knee first, but the right knee stays low and tucked in behind my back right hand, so that's fine. And then I'd end up, that's the position I want to be in. I'm actually cruising down the wave like that. Like there's the knee, right? Everything's kind of reasonably tucked in, right? Like I can live with that, right? It doesn't need to be perfect. But my head's up, I'm going down, I'm in a good stable position, you know, versus the other ones that you were seeing there a minute ago. So it's possible. How a pro does it. So she pops, she brings her knees together. The interesting thing is her knees are actually out, probably trying to get balance in the beginning. And then her knees end up together through, and then the back knee stays there. And then she brings that front knee through. And so look how low that back knee is. It's not touching the board, it's just below her forearm, right? So like even with her forearm. And it's not touching the board necessarily. It's just on the ball of the foot, and then bringing the other foot through, and then she's off to the races. And the key thing with that is that back right knee just like staying low to the board and coming in while the other foot sweeps through, versus what I'm doing here. So similar to Coco, pretty far pop up there. So here's similar, right? And then you're coming up, and yeah. So what's the difference there between me and her? Is it that I have a gut? Is it core strength? Is it... Okay, well, thanks for watching. I'd love any thoughts you have to help me fix this part of my takeoff.